Hello, my name is Dee Adekubi, founder of Ruth's House. Ruth's House is a safe haven for any family within the African community that is in need of help due to domestic violence. We are a collage of many agencies, community, and faith-based groups working together to ensure that the African home is protected and supported in their time of need. Our vision is to break the cycle of abuse in the African community. Our mission is to provide support for the whole family, because our belief is that everyone is a victim and everyone needs help. The name Ruth came from a story in the Bible about a woman whose husband had died and had lost her home and everything. She had nothing left except her mother-in-law. One day, her mother-in-law decided to return to her country, and she told Ruth to return to her people. Instead of going back to her family, Ruth decided she was going to accompany her mother-in-law so she could look after her. Ruth left everything to start life all over again with uncertainty. But in this new country, Ruth found acceptance, she found belonging, and she found a community. She was a foreigner who found a safe haven. So Ruth's house derives its name from that story. Many African people are like Ruth, foreigners in Canada, and yet Canada offers all acceptance, belonging, and a community. And no matter what we are going through, there is help within our community to feel safe and feel protected. I founded Ruth's House because of the pandemic issue of domestic violence in our community and the importance of doing something about it. So many immigrant families work hard to come to Canada, only for many to end up destroyed by domestic violence, children taken into care, and the family broken. It doesn't have to be that way. And so for me, it's time to do something about it. Ruth's House is founded on 3 foundations. 1, I am a domestic violence survivor. I spent 6 months in a shelter in the UK and had to change my identity to feel safe. So I know from a lived experience what domestic violence is and its impact on lives. Number 2, I have a voice and a platform in my community to use and advocate against domestic violence to safeguard all families. I have been speaking out and will continue to do so against abuse and violence on all levels, whether it's violence against women, violence against men, violence against children, or violence against the elderly. Any form of abuse or violence should not be an acceptable way of life in any home or any culture. Number 3, I'm African. I was born in Nigeria and I belong to the Nigerian community. I believe that from within our community, we can offer solutions and support to our people. We can create a systematic and permanent change and support to shift the behavior rather than create temporary solutions. Yes, domestic violence is a taboo that is seldom addressed, but we are in a generation and in a nation that can do something about it. Domestic violence will no longer be a taboo, unspoken, or accepted as norm. Families will no longer have to suffer in silence. Help and a systemic change is here to keep our families together and protect our homes. There is a saying in the African community that it takes a village to raise a child. We believe that it will take a bigger and wider agency to work together to protect the African homes and its community values, cultures, and beliefs. From experience, we have realized that a lot of domestic violence victims find it difficult to interface with government agencies and regulatory authorities because they are not familiar with the Western system, which is different from African culture. Because of that, so many victims remain in an abusive situation rather than seek help which is available to them. This is why it is very important to have a body which advocates and acts as a liaison between the system and the victims to help them fully understand their rights and the remedies available to them. Our community is composed of hundreds of ethnic groups, each with their own traditional value systems of protecting the family institution that requires understanding, support, and a community engagement on all levels to create a safe haven for everyone. Ruth's House will provide an essential tools at the most needed time for survivors of domestic violence, children, families, friends, and community at large. Created in collaboration with many community groups, religious groups, and agencies, Ruth's House will provide counseling, temporary safe housing, outreach, and education to all African communities. Our resources will span across multiple agencies, faith-based groups, and African communities across our province and nation. Martin Luther King once stated in his speech, "I have a dream," and he opened up the floodgates for all of us to dream. Today, I have a dream that in 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years, domestic violence will have been a thing of the past because we will have all worked together to educate our community on a better way to solve problems. We will have all worked together to expose our community to a better system. And we will have all worked together to elevate our families and community to a place of peace, a place of love, and a place of unity. Ruth's House believes in the African home. I believe in our culture, in our values, and I have faith in our people. Together, we can ensure that all African immigrants not only find a better life in Canada, but one that is violence-free.